Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to talk about IELTS exam and I will provide all of the important details and important information that every single candidate of IELTS needs to know. I won't read every details, but if you really want to read, you can stop or pause the video and read it yourself. So first, what is IELTS? If you may know, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System that measures the candidate's language proficiency, or those people who really want to study or work abroad. It uses a 9-band scale to clearly identify or measure levels of proficiency from non-user band score 1 through to expert band score 9. So this examination is accepted by over 9,000 organizations worldwide, including universities, professional bodies, immigration authorities, government agencies, and many more. For the list of, these organizations, you can go to that website that you can see right now, or I will provide all of the links in the description area. You can go and easily access the links. As you may know, we have two types of IELTS exam, like academic and general training. Listening and speaking are the same for both tests, but the subject matter of reading and writing sections are different. So, the listening, reading, writing sections of all IELTS exam are being completed on the same day without any break. But for speaking section, you can do it a week before or after the other tests actually. But you need to call your test center. So the total test time is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now let's talk about CEFR, which stands for Common European Framework of Reference, right? Actually for language. These are references for the languages. Obviously, we talk about English. So, this is international standards to describe, a person's language ability. And the scale is from A1 level for beginners up to C2 level for basically masters or advanced level, whatever you want to call it. So what sort of exams are available on the CEFR? So the next graph or diagram shows very well. Now you can read it yourself. Now, accessible and convenient, right? IELTS exam is offered up to 4 times a month in more than 140 countries. The tests are held on Saturdays and Thursdays only. As you may know, of course, the content in IELTS are from texts and tasks from publications from all over the English-speaking world, basically. And a range of native speaker accents, from North American to Australian, New Zealand, British, even Indian, as well as Canadian, and etc., etc. You need to be fully ready for listening, actually. All standard varieties of English are accepted in test takers. In writing and also in speaking exam, it is up to you to choose whether American English or British English. This test actually has been developed by experts in language assessment, and because there's a huge research, validation, and test development. And so what is inside this exam? As you may know, of course, we have listening like 40 questions, approximately 30 minutes, plus 10 minutes transfer time. You have to transfer. I'm going to talk about this later. Reading 40 questions, maximum time is 60 minutes. Writing 2 tasks, 60 minutes in total. And speaking includes 3 parts, maximum 14 or 15 minutes. So these are sample answer sheets that you should know And these are the sample answer sheet and test report forms. Basically, candidates should write with a pencil, and at the end of the day, you're going to receive this test report form from the center, actually. These are some of the examples, really interesting. For example, imagine that test taker A in listening gets 6.5, in reading 6.5, in writing 5, and in speaking 7. So the average is like 6.25, but they rounded up and they say it like 6.5. So, this is a sort of advantage that in IELTS exam you can have. Or, for example, let's have a look at the second test taker. The average point is 3.875. So they rounded up to 4. For instance, test taker number 3 gets 6.125, but they rounded as 6, okay, because it is below 25. So let's talk about the level of the test. In IELTS exam, there is no such thing as a pass or fail. Oh, I passed exam. Oh, I failed exam. The results are being reported as band score on a scale of, from 1 to 9, actually. 1, the lowest, 9, the highest. They called each category as a name. For example, 9 is expert user, 8 very good user, 7 good user, 6 competent user, 5 modest user, 6 limited user, 3 extremely limited user, 2 intermittent user, and 1 non-user. And also 0 did not attempt the test, like blank, totally empty and blank. A half band score indicates a strong performance at a particular band level. As I talked, so if you, for example, your overall band score is like 6.5, it means that you performed strongly within the band 6 level. This is really interesting. How can institutions verify my results? IELTS test report form verification service for institutions. Basically, employers, universities, or other organizations can check your result for themselves by registering with our basically test report form verification service. Now the question is, why IELTS? Why? Why should I take IELTS? First of all, this exam is globally accepted exam and teaching qualifications, basically. For instance, Cambridge English exams are recognized by over 25,000 universities, employers, and governments around the world. This is really interesting. Basically, there are a lot of different organizations, really leading organizations that you might know. Basically, a lot of different universities like University of Sydney, King's College London, or a lot actually recognize and accept IELTS exam. So IELTS is the world's most popular English test for higher education and also global migration. Some of the immigration agencies often require proof of English language skill. IELTS is a great one, and also IELTS is widely accepted for these purposes. IELTS is designed to test the language ability, as we talked, for those people who want to study or work in English-speaking countries, basically, as a form of communication. Over 3.5 million tests are taken each year. Can you believe that? So IELTS enables you to start your journey into work or study in another country. Prove your English language skills to others. Decide on a module to match your goal, like academic or general training. And what are the reasons to choose IELTS? Results are available in 5 to 7 days, very short, basically computer delivered, and 13 days paper-based exam. The test is offered in over 1,600 locations in more than 140 countries, as I talked. Over 10,000 organizations worldwide accept IELTS as proof of language ability. Now let's talk about some frequently asked questions. Does IELTS include American English? As I mentioned, this test covers all major varieties of English. You have to be fully ready: American, Australian, British, Canadian, and other forms of English. So what topics are covered in IELTS? Basically, university level material, maybe articles, maybe textbooks. But I have to tell you that no specialist knowledge is required. Are there any free sample questions available? Of course. You may see them, you may find them at www.ielts.org. Let's talk about test format. As I mentioned, there are two modules to choose from, basically academic or general. The academic module is ideal if you want to study at undergraduate or postgraduate level or for professional registration. The general training module is normally taken by those who want to migrate to an English-speaking country or study at below degree level. Each organization sets its own entry requirements. It depends on the organization that you're applying, basically, but you need to contact the organization you are applying, actually. You are tested on all 4 language skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, right? So you have to be fully ready for these stuff. So basically, as I mentioned, listening and speaking are the same, but academic reading and general reading, as well as academic writing and general writing, are different. Now let's talk about test results. The test report form basically is called as test result. You will receive a test report form from the center, basically. It shows your overall band score. Results will be available 13 days after the test, or at other test centers, results are mailed to test takers, actually. Test centers are not permitted to give results out over the phone or by scan or email. This is not professional. And this is a sample test result. You will receive only one copy of the test report form, but it is important that you keep it safe, as replacement test report forms cannot be issued again. Test centers will send copies of your test report form to up to 5 organizations free of charge. Now, preview your results online. Results remain online for 28 days, and it is not legal to use those online results, as an official confirmation of your performance. Results validity period. Basically, organizations accept this result not more than 2 years, unless you provide evidence that you have actively maintained or tried to improve your English since taking the test. So, retaking IELTS exam. There is no restriction. There is no limit on retaking IELTS. You can take it as many times as you wish. Inquiries on results. You can apply for a remark. Basically, if you are not satisfied with your result, you can apply for a remark. But this remark inquiries must make the application no later than 6 weeks after the test date. There is a fee for this service, by the way, which will be refunded if your score on any component is increased. If it is intact, you have to pay. If it has changed, you need to get that feedback. Inquiries on results take 6 to 8 weeks to complete, actually. Very long period. So these are some samples of, answer sheet you have to pay attention to. We will basically talk about these stuff in details later. Test dates. Basically, paper-based IELTS is available on 48 dates during a year. Academic module available on all of the dates. General training module available on 24 dates. Computer-delivered IELTS is available up to 7 days a week. So you have to go to the IELTS website and find more information. You may take the speaking test on the same day as the other papers or up to 7 days before or after the other paper exams. Results. There is no pass or fail in IELTS, as I mentioned before. So your results from the 4 parts then produce an overall score. While it is up to each organization to set a validity period, but basically the IELTS partners recommend a 2-year validity period for IELTS test results. Okay. Now let's talk about how to prepare for IELTS exam. Make sure you are fully ready to demonstrate your English. First, familiarize yourself with the format of the test, as I am actually talking at the moment. Practice using sample questions if you go and visit that website. And of course, there are 2 volumes of official IELTS practice materials. Okay, they're available for purchase. You can buy them. Don't worry, I will provide all of the links in the description area. You can easily access. So these materials include a full practice test with answers and sample writing and speaking performances with examiner comments. So number 4, consider enrolling in a preparation course to improve your performance in the test. It is so difficult. If your level is not good, you have to get ready. You have to fully get ready for the IELTS exam. And knowing the IELTS rules and regulations is always beneficial. So it is important to familiarize yourself with the IELTS rules and regulations, right? Notice to candidates and declaration in the application form, right? You are signing, and if you sign, it means that you agree to the terms online. If you do so, it means that you are confirming that you have read and understood the IELTS rules and regulations and agree to abide by them. Register as soon as possible. This is really important. If you are late, the number of test takers who can take the test on a particular date may be limited, so do not be late. Tell your center if you have special requirements. IELTS provides a comprehensive service for test takers who have special requirements. You can ask for large print or braille version, which is designed for disabled people, but you must give the test center 3 months notice, right? If you need extra time, or if you want to use access technology such as a screen reader or whatever, you have to again notify and inform them like in 6 weeks. Test tips. Let's talk about some tips which are very general. For listening, obviously, IELTS exam starts with listening. Each recording in the test is heard only once. You will be given time to read through the questions before you listen. Don't worry and don't panic. At the end of the listening test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. You must write your answer in pencil in listening. Pay attention to the word limit. If it says for example, no more than 2 words, you definitely need to write only 2 words. For example, let's say the correct answer is leather coat, but if you say a coat made of leather, that is not correct. Be totally careful about it. Transfer only the missing words to the answer sheet, nothing else. You will hear the words you need to use in the recording. You will not need to change the form of the words you hear. Whatever you hear, just write them down. Pay attention to spelling and grammar. You will lose marks for your mistakes. You may write your answers in lowercase or in capitals only. Reading. Basically, pretty much the same. For example, but the point is, you will not be given extra time to transfer answers at the end of the test. You must write your answers in pencil. This is a must. Don't forget that. And the words you use must be taken from the reading text. You will not need to change the form of the words in the text. Writing. You may write your answers in pencil or pen. It is a matter of choice. You are going to decide. And, you will lose marks if you do not write at least 150 words for task 1 and at least 250 words for task 2. Be totally careful about it. You should spend approximately 20 minutes on task 1 and approximately 40 minutes on task 2. You must write your answers in full. No bullet points, no, notes. You will basically lose marks. Pay attention to spelling, grammar, and punctuation especially, because you will lose marks for your mistakes. You may write your answers entirely in capitals if you wish. You may make notes on the question paper. It is totally up to you, but nothing you write on the question paper will be marked. Be totally careful about it. Final words. So 5 steps to success. I am not going to read. You can read them yourself. Thank you very much for listening and watching, of course. If you have any specific question, please ask in the comment section below. And pay attention to the description area under this video, because I will provide all of the links, everything. If there's a change, I will make a change. So be careful about that. And stay tuned for other IELTS test recommendations and skills and tips and tricks. I will create more videos about that. And stay tuned. Until next time, live long and prosper. Take care.